All right, playing a song, and we'll go into it. I think we're live already, so I'm just waiting to play the theme. So, hey, everybody, we're live on Facebook, YouTube. Give us a moment.
Technical difficulties?
Man, I don't know what just happened. I was trying to bootleg it for Richard tonight, and I'm going to blame it on him.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, how about I just put the theme song? No, here we go.
Dyn-O-MITE!
Well, those explosions were great.
We're live from STS Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And this is Dyn-O-MITE. I've got Lance Levine and Patreon Eric. I'm just going to call you Eric because you got Jacquees Scrapple or something. So, hey, guys, I'm going to big head tonight. I don't know. There's got to be a way to put three people in a small. I'm going to be big head and y'all be small heads. How's that?
I have a large head in real life, so this is the first time I've been the small head. Yep.
We owe the viewers an apology for this one.
Right, yeah, for sure. Mostly, let me just say, if the big head's scaring you, then just wait till the audio comes out before midnight. Okay,
it's scaring me already, and I'm looking right at it.
Let's remind everybody we got a 3-day weekend contest going on. Go. Lance, tell them to go to Patreon because there's a bunch of prizes, right?
You can get $100 worth of prizes. There's a Young Bucks Funko Pop. There's a copy of my book. There's T-shirts. There's all kinds of giveaways. So you got to go on our Patreon, and it's a $3 sign up for a month. And then, hell, I say stay signed on because that's only $36 for the year. And I'll be able to get Slurpees and shit for the rest of the year that way.
And green beans.
And pork and beans.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, green beans. That's way too healthy for me. Fuck that.
All right, guys, this is the first time you join us. We do this in a round table format. We've changed it a little bit. We're doing hits, misses, MVP. What do you want to see on this upcoming Dyn-O-MITE show? And was it a thumbs up and a thumbs down? And I'm going to start with you, Lance. Let's hear about the hits.
So you froze up a little bit there. Hopefully that's working out okay. So we're talking about Revolution, the pay-per-view that just ended. I was going to break it to you guys gently. I actually watched the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan instead. So I don't have anything to report on the show.
All right. I'm going to get rid of him, Eric. Here we go.
No. So best on the show, the hits on the show. Boy, I'll tell you, the first half of the show was a little bit lackluster. I mean, obviously the opener with the Young Bucks was fantastic. A couple of great destroyers in there. Nick Jackson destroyer on MJF coming through the ropes. Cody Destroyer on Penta on the ladder was awesome too. Loved the ladder match. It seemed like the second half of the card really excelled. So, but for me, the overall best thing on the card was the crazy barbed wire brutality in the main event. I loved it. The Crimson Mask, very old school. I love the way that the guys had to work really creatively because they honestly couldn't do rope spots on 3/4 of the ring, on 3 sides of the ring, because they had the whole explosion gimmick and the barbed wire. Loved the hazmat suit. Loved everything about the main event until the explosion at the very end. So we'll talk about that later. So what about you, Eric?
I'm going to have my first hit will be a Lance miss for sure. Maki Ito. Despite a crappy sound mix, she still came out and did her song. Her song's a lot catchier. If you could hear it, you couldn't really hear it. She's part Stone Cold, she's part Hanma, and she's part girl group diva. And when there's 10,000 people in an arena, they're all going to sing along with it like they do the Jungle Boy song. And what a show woman. She would get over huge if she were here full time. The tag title match, it wasn't a match of the year candidate like Lance and I got to see live last year, but it was good and very good in all action. So they kind of meshed the psychology style of a Jericho and MJF with the high spot fest that the Young Bucks are known for. I liked Paige being saved by the Dark Order. They all caught him. I liked the spot. The match was just so-so because Matt Hardy can't go anymore. My favorite, my biggest hit on the whole show, though, was that street fight. It looked so cool. The production values were so high. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. In the year 2021, mostly whenever I'm doing anything, I got my second screen up and I'm tweeting or I'm posting in Cool Kids Facebook room. And I wasn't doing any of that during this match because I was just transfixed. Sting with catching the bat and beating the hell out of guys. The crash pad spot was amazing as well. That was the highlight of the night for me. What did you think, Brian?
Well, man, I liked the Sting match, but I didn't think it was actually, guys. I thought the tag team match at the very beginning was the best match on the card. It was the first match. Yeah. It had everything I needed in the tag team match. It was the best match of the card. I love seeing that Destroyer on Cody. I hate that whole drama that he was going backstage or he wasn't going backstage. I got to agree with Lance with just the brutality, just the blood of Moxley, and because you don't get blood on any other promotion like this, and it was just, as you will hear, I didn't really like the match, but I love the blood part. And also on the hits for me, and you guys know, a huge fan, is just to see Scorpio Sky. Wasn't a great ladder match, but it was nice seeing him win.
You're right. You know, the card started so strong. If you forget about that bullshit on the pre-show, the card started out so strong with that tag match. And then there was a long gap. There was a good hour and 15 minutes where it was just like mediocre, like average stuff. And I think part of that is the fact that we all had our hopes up for this card being like a card of the year type card. And granted, it ended three strong matches in a row to end the show too. But boy, there was that hour. I know you're shaking your head. There was that hour and 15 minutes or so that it just, I don't know, it just lost a lot of steam in the middle for me. So we doing what was the misses? Are we going to misses?
Yeah, go
next?
ahead, Lance. Give me your misses. Yeah.
All right. So misses, the Battle Royal was basically AEW Dark Invitational. I mean, there were way too many teams in there that I had no idea either who they were or they didn't have any place being in there. Bear Country, the Blondes, the Guns, Scissor Bononi, or whatever the fuck his name was.
Man, let me stop you right there. I know I'm going out of format, but that Bear Country was awesome. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
It just, the whole thing was until they got down to the final guys, like Eric had mentioned in the group, until they got down to the final 4 guys, that match was a train wreck for me. The Rio's Kojima chops in the corner, I swear those chops are the lamest things I've ever seen, whether he does them or she does them. Adding Snoop Dogg to Cody's entrance song, that's like adding Crayola to a Rembrandt, I said. The ego pop in the ladder match, I mean, he's a good hand for sure, and he's an entertaining guy, but as a surprise, I didn't get it. Same thing with Christian, didn't get that. But the number one, like Eric already mentioned, my number one miss for the show is the Maki Ito bullshit. I just don't get it.
When was that? It was at the pre-show?
She was in the pre-show, yeah. So it was her tagging with Britt, right, against Thunder Rosa and Riho. And I mean, it was plainly obvious the mystery partner should have been Jade Cargill coming off of the hot match on Wednesday. And Jade was, to add insult to injury, Jade was right there in the front row with her white hair, making it really painfully obvious that she was right there. So bringing in that Maki Ito, I don't get the act. I think it's stupid. The bullshit when she's crying, when she gets punched, and then it's all a charade, and she steps on the other girl's foot. Oh, God, the whole thing is just a disaster. I hate her. It's like the female Enzo, as far as I'm concerned. I think she sucks, and I hope it doesn't get over. I think it's a terrible act. So worst thing for me. Eric, what about you? What was the misses for you? I know you got a list.
The tag team battle royal, you pretty much nailed it. It was teams I don't care about, and I watch AEW Dark every week, and I don't care about them. It just, to me, it kind of exposed that they have just too many teams, and not very many of them are over at the end of the day. I mean, how many could in that battle royal could you have actually seen challenging for the title at a pay-per-view or on Dynamite, most likely, right? Not that many.
Not Scissor Bononi, that's for sure.
No, a WWE NXT cast-off.
Yeah.
You had guys standing around. You could have used that to set up some new feuds, I suppose, and I think they did. Bear Country versus the Butcher and the Blade will probably be a match we see. I think Brian will like that. You had that goofy Uno spot where he runs himself into the ring post and then falls down and then tweets, the ring is really slippery. I didn't quite get that.
Oh, it was horrible. That spot was horrible. God.
Yeah, the crowd during the women's title match, it didn't seem like they had heat, but like Lance said, for an hour and 15 minutes, there was a lot of dead spots in this card. I could have done without the Miro Sabian match being on the card. It was just there. I guess they're starting to build Miro up as a monster so he can be the in-between pay-per-view heel who loses their title match, I guess. I guess that's his highest best use. But for me, the biggest miss was Christian. I don't have anything against Christian, but the problem is they overhyped this signing. And when generally speaking in life, when you overpromise, you're going to underdeliver, right? Yeah. Better to underpromise than overdeliver. Yeah. And I took a look. I did some writing down. They have just gone overboard on the legends. On this roster now, especially WWE cast-offs, they've got Sting, The Giant, Big Show, sorry, Matt Hardy, Christian, and Jericho. And the Heyman rule is you get one legend, right? Give me the Bruno Sammartino guy to beat, be the second from the top face or whatever, to put over the bad guy maybe before he gets to the Hulk Hogan champion. So you've got those guys. Sting and Big Show need to be protected. Matt Hardy is slowing down. Who knows what Christian has left in the tank after his health issues. Jericho is fading fast. And, they've got some guys who could go. Mox, Cody, Miro, FTR. Shawn Spears is there. He's another WWE cast-off. I mean, there comes a tipping point at which it's WWE light. And I think they're perilously close to that. And the other thing is, you just got too many guys in general. How are they going to push all of them in just 2 hours of TV time a week?
Yeah, even when they add the next show, they're still not going to have enough time for as big as this roster has grown. Right. So, all right, BT, what
all right, my misses, man. Did y'all catch Tony Schiavone saying someone's hair was a Brillo pad?
I did. Yeah,
that was Ortiz. Was it Ortiz?
I just shook my head on that one. I'm going to be real picky about this one. This QT turn I think is really stupid because everybody knows QT actually trains everybody. I just hate shit like that. Ethan Page, big disappointment. He's a talent, but I think it should have been a bigger name there. I love Christian Cage, guys. Absolutely love. Huge fan, but big letdown. And I told Lance this. I figured if it wasn't Angle, Lesnar, or Punk, I'd be disappointed, and I was disappointed. I thought the biggest miss overall, though, was just – I don't know. We had such a build for the match, and I think it should have been like Onita always liked to do it really quick. I didn't like the main event at all. I thought it was I don't know. I love the violence of it, but I just thought it was boring, and I was real tired in the match. I mean, you're talking this show was going what if you went pre-show. Going over 4 hours, and it just felt like it was out of place. They waited too long to do the end, and I was waiting for somebody to jump out and at the very end and make the save and then the explosion. Oh my God!
The explosion, you got to say that like that, because I mean, what I will say is I love the twist of Eddie Kingston being the one who comes out to try to make
why
the
was
save.
he knocked out? Why was he knocked out from a firecracker?
Exactly. I love the idea of Eddie Kingston being the one not only to make the save, but then to fail in making the save. But then it was like I said in the group, it was a burrito fart. Basically,
it was horrible.
Somebody said that was like a Kane entrance. I'm like, that wasn't even close to a Kane entrance.
It's 10 times
Kane's
better.
entrance is way bigger than that. So I had already highlighted my notes and stuff, but that was the worst thing on the card. Maki Ito at least was pre-show, but that burrito fart explosion was just, and the fact that Moxley and Kingston are selling that.
Did you see that?
Like they died.
Kingston had an earpiece. Do you see that in the back of his head? Kingston had an earpiece in, like the little cord stretching into the back. So clearly Tony Khan is whispering in his ear, "Fuck it, stay down." Right? I mean,
I guess stay down from what?
Play dead.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
He was overcome with emotion watching his best friend eat it that badly and lose the match.
It was a good story.
It was a real good story, but they could have used a lot more Hollywood CGI type stuff in that spot, because Lord knows, like Eric said, they sure as hell did it in the Sting match. They sure as hell had all kinds of great effects.
Right.
There, they should have saved a little bit of that budget for the explosion at the end of the show. So that took away from that match. You're right. You're totally right.
All right, MVP. What do you think?
MVP. I had it. Initially, it was the cinematographer for the Sting match, because the way that was shot in that empty warehouse, I honestly want to know where that was. It looked like a legitimately deserted warehouse with all kinds of like.
It was in Blytheville. It's in Blytheville, Arkansas.
Blytheville, okay, Blytheville. So I had the cinematographer from that match being my MVP initially, and then I said Mox for the blood loss and putting out as much as he did in the main event, and Kenny secondarily. Kenny didn't quite lose as much plasma in that match as Moxley did, but Moxley went all out to honor his, all of his heroes in wrestling, in Japanese wrestling from back in the day. But I say Moxley in a tight one over the cinematographer of the Sting match as my MVP. Eric?
You could definitely make a case for Omega and Mox sharing the MVP for this one. I'm going to go with Darby Allin. I think I've read that Darby was instrumental in sort of conceiving some of this match, and he's got a film school background, so I think he had a lot to do with the way it looked and how cool it came across. So I'm going to go with Darby Allin for MVP of the show.
I'll just tie it all in, just like y'all said. I mean, look, it was close to the Undertaker. I really liked the Undertaker and AJ and all that. It was close to that. There was some cheesy moments, but that's what we expected from it. So I loved that whole match. Maybe bring that as the MVP, but like you said, I'm having a hard time giving Moxley, even though Moxley and Omega was so bloody and they did give 110%. I just thought, they used to call that kind of wrestling garbage wrestling, and I really didn't want it to be garbage wrestling, but that's the way it felt as I watched it. So it's just like I can't give. So I'll go with the guy behind the camera, or the people that came up with the match. I thought it was really fun with Sting and Darby Allin.
The only thing I want to mention, though, in that Sting match, one of the things that stuck out for me and I hate is the dumb baby face. I hate the dumb baby face, because you knew that Hook, as much as I hate Hook and Hobbs were going to get involved. I mean, it's a faction of 4. They're going to get involved. And Sting and Darby did not bring backup. It's like, I hate it when the baby face puts themselves in a situation where they know they're going to be outnumbered and they still let it happen. So I didn't like that aspect of it, but I did love the way it was shot, where it was shot, the whole thing. So I agree with you on that.
All right, Lance, what are you looking forward to for this week's Dynamite show?
I didn't have a huge list. Initially, it was the whole inner circle angle and whatever they're going to do there. But then when they announced what's going to be on that card, Darby against Scorpio Sky is one to look forward to. But to take the high off the charts, Matt Jackson and Phoenix. That's all I need. You tell me I've got what presumably will be the main event. Matt Jackson and Phoenix is going to be on Wednesday's show. So it has nothing to do with much of anything on this pay-per-view, but they already announced that match is happening on Wednesday. So I am all in for that. So what about you, Eric?
Well, I think Dynamite, the whole push for 2021 for Tony Khan and it started in December when Sting debuted. They're trying to get the next million viewers or the next 500,000 viewers so they can be in the ballpark of Raw and SmackDown. So you're seeing things like this Shaq stunt and the Cody crossover and signing Paul White and Christian. I think the Christian interview, they didn't announce it, but I mean, they got to follow up with Christian, and he's got to explain why he's there. I'm interested to hear what's going on there. What is this new catchphrase? No one outworks me, outwork everyone, or something.
Yeah.
It seemed a little Nike shoe kind of oriented. Other things I'm looking forward to this Wednesday. Are they going to do the Jericho face turn already? At the end of that interview, MJF was certainly looking ominous, like he was going to try and push him out. It seems a little early, like you might save that for the next pay-per-view. And then I assume if Jericho gets beaten down, maybe what's his face? Sammy comes back and makes the save for him as the other guy who got booted out or booted himself.
Well, I think they're going to do something with Wardlow too, because of the whole Jericho accidentally gave him the Judas effect or whatever it's called and knocked Wardlow off the apron. So there'll be some kind of split up going there too.
I assume that might be the catalyst for why Jericho's lost it or whatever. The Maki Ito 6-woman tag, I'm definitely looking forward to.
Man, I don't get you. I don't get your so much hate toward this girl. She was on a pre-show. God damn, give her a break.
Well, you should have watched it. You would have seen how annoying she is.
I will. I'm gonna go back and watch it because you're the same thing. Maybe she got a reaction from people. He don't like people that get reactions like Enzo.
You know, she sang a song. You would think Mr. Bookplug guy over there would like somebody who sings their own song, right? The shameless
wait. Hold on.
All the Right Notes? Are you talking about All the Right Notes on Amazon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I can't find it. So,
all right.
By Lance's book. There we go. What am I looking forward to? I'm like you guys. Kind of see Phoenix against what are the Jacksons? What the hell? You know, that's going to be a hell of a match. And you can't, if you're a wrestling fan, that's the kind of thing you want. I want to see Christian come out there and tell us why Angle and Lesnar and Punk didn't come. And it was him instead. So that's kind of where I want to see that to happen. And I'm going to be watching that match with the 6-man just so I can say I liked it and Lance hates it so much. So there you go. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think Eric still had some more stuff he was looking forward to.
Just Jackson Phoenix like you guys.
Oh, you had it. Okay. I thought BT cut him off.
So. Yeah. All right, thumbs up or thumbs down, Lance.
Man, this was tough. Like I said, I can't go thumbs in the middle. That's too easy. But that middle, like I said, that middle hour or so in the show was just kind of like somebody in the group had said those were like Wednesday night matches. Like the Chuck and Orange match was like a Wednesday night match. There were a couple matches in there that were like Wednesday night matches, and so they lost a lot of momentum in the middle of the show, but I thought they pulled it back between the ladder match and then the Sting match and then the main event. I'm surprised that we differ so much on the main event. So I'm going to give it a mild thumbs up because on the strength of those last 3 matches and the Bucks match. So I'll go mild thumbs up. So Eric?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up, 8 out of 10, say. How can you give a thumbs down on a show with those last 2 matches plus the tag title match? Nothing was truly awful. It was all good. Just some of the stuff was great. And, of course, you had the U.S. arena debut of Maki Ito, so that really puts it over the top for me.
How many raspberries can I give you on this? Jesus. So,
how many references to her? Do you have a poster under your...
You're right in the sense that nothing sucked. The lowest score I had was like 2.5, which was that pre-show. You're right in the fact that nothing sucked, but there was more average stuff for an AEW pay-per-view. There was more average stuff than I normally see. And especially with the build that we all had going into this card, that this was going to be a potential card of the year. Fucking takeovers are better than that card overall. So,
I mean, I think, you had higher expectations than I did. I didn't have expectations that the wrestling would be match of the year stuff. I think Uncle Dave on one of his podcasts said, well, you look at the card or maybe it was Wade, you look at the card and where's the great classic wrestling match coming from? Other than the Bucks trying to pull that off, you didn't really have that. That's kind of not what they were going for tonight. They were going for the gimmick, the spectacle. And on that level, I think they succeeded. Still, second weakest AEW pay-per-view. They put on strong pay-per-views. This is probably the second from the bottom. The one where Matt Hardy, killed himself Labor Day weekend, that was the worst of them all. Brian?
Got it.
Man. I've given
He's going thumbs
up.
down. He's going thumbs down. I know it.
I've given thumbs up. I've given thumbs in the middle since October. They have not had a thumbs down, AEW, in my opinion. And the reason why I'm giving it a thumbs down is I think it has a lot to do with my expectations. And I just thought that I didn't go with the last 3 matches because I thought the main event was just garbage. I thought the street fight was really fun. The ladder match was, a good ladder match. And then you had the Bucks against Jericho and you just have that. That's the only that to me was the only real good match on the show. So I can't have one match that went over 4 stars and give a thumbs up or a thumbs in the middle. And then the ending with that firecracker or that Roman candle or that fart. I think it was a fart. I think
a burrito fart. That's what I said. It was a Taco Bell fart.
So just god awful. So yeah, thumbs down. It's been a long time since I got one, but I had to give him a thumbs down.
Well, like Eric asked me right after that. Eric asked me, was there something else supposed to happen there? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, it could have been something else. Like they pushed the button and they were pushing it over and over again. And the real explosion didn't happen. But I think like the worst part about that was how poor Moxley and Kingston had to sit there and sell it like they were paralyzed,
What happened in
horrible, yeah.
What happened at the end of the Funk Onita match back in the day, the first one of these?
Man, I cannot remember anything but the explosions and them getting out. To me, the matches were really short. I may be completely wrong, but I remember them being. And then when they said they're waiting to the 30 minutes, then that just gave you the clue. Oh my God, this is gonna be 30 minutes.
They needed a countdown clock. There should have been on that back wall. There needed to be a countdown. And then they played that music with 10 minutes to go. All of a sudden, that ominous music came on with no context whatsoever. Like, we're playing ominous music now because there's 10 minutes to go. Like,
maybe there's 10 minutes.
Why?
Tony said, Ronnie said he didn't know for sure, but there may be 10 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, they did put the clock up there when it was 60 seconds. I'm like, oh, they should have built that reminded me of the New Japan 20 count, like build the drama. You need that count or the clock up there on the wall longer than that. It didn't necessarily need to be the entire match, but at least for a good portion of it, for sure. More than a minute. That's for damn sure. So
yeah,
but the match, like I said, the match itself, I'm surprised you and I disagree so much because I really give Moxley and Omega credit for the fact that, like I said, they couldn't bump off the ropes because they had to keep those bumps in check. They had to do them very limited numbers. They could only work on that one side of the ring by the ramp as far as the ropes go. They had to get really creative and keep it basically in the center of the ring until they were going to do those choreographed spots. So I give them a ton of credit. I thought they worked a great match.
Didn't like it. Thought it was garbage wrestling.
Yeah.
Didn't blame it on an AEW pay-per-view. That's just my opinion. And I love garbage wrestling to a certain extent.
This is good because you and I agree far too much lately. So this is good.
Yeah, that's right. So good. And I'm going to go for Eric. I'm going to go look at this girl more. And I think I'm going to like her no matter what. Just because
I don't like her. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, guys. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as Eric and as Lance knows, I love my mama.
I love his mama too, but I have fun everywhere I go.
Eric, I still don't have a catchphrase.
Oh man, come on.
We're gonna make up one for you.
You're the third wheel now. It looks like you got the Dynamite job. We forgot to mention I fired those other guys again.
Because he's got the right wardrobe for it too.